Good morning, students. Yesterday we had been discussing that trial balance can be solved with the three methods. The first method was uh, totals method, the second was balance method, and the third one is total cum balance method. So let's start solving one by one. Here I'll explain you how to solve all the three, but later on we have to prefer only one, that is balance method. So your more focus should be towards balance method only. Okay, so here instead of giving question on journal, I have directly prepared ledgers for you so that directly you can understand how ledgers are converted into trial balances. So here we are given certain ledger accounts. The first account is Rawat's capital account. That means it's a capital account. The person who have started business whose capital account is there. So here you can see that at credit side it is by cash account 40,000 and later on 20,000. So the total is coming to 60,000. But in the debit side you can see that only balance carried down is there. That means this is closing balance. This is balance. And we do not require balance for the first method. We just require the totals of debit and credit. So if I do not take this amount into consideration, so here debit was having 0 and credit was having 60,000. So what we have to show is that capital account is having credit balance of 60,000 and debit balance of 0. Let's check into the trial balance. And here we have our trial balance. Since it is the trial balance using totals method. Since Rawat's capital debit side it was nil, so we have not written any amount, or you can just write dash or 0. And credit side it was having 60,000 ka balance, so here we have shown this 60,000 at credit side. Moving towards next point. The next point here you can see is Rohan's account. Now Rohan's account balance brought down, in bracket it is given that purchases. That means we have purchased goods from Rohan for 10,000 and 50,000. So total is coming towards 60,000. We also have paid Rohan 40,000. Here you can see at the debit side we have written cash 40,000. That means we have paid rupees 40,000 to Rohan. So once we paid rupees 40,000 to Rohan, leave this balance as it is balance carried down. I told you when we are solving the question in the first method, will not consider the balance. So if I do consider only totals, so credit side total is 60,000 and debit side total is 40,000. So let's see how we'll present it in trial balance. We'll present 40,000 debit and 60,000 credit. Moving towards next account, and the next account is machinery account. Balance brought down 20,000 and depreciation 3,000. Depreciation at credit, balance at debit. And balance carried down, again we'll have to hide this because we do not want balances. So we can say that credit total is 3,000 and debit total is 20,000. So we'll present only this amount to our trial balance. Here we have machinery, debit 20,000 and credit 3,000. Next we have is Rahul's account. Rahul's account is showing balance brought down 15,000 and sales 60,000. So debit side total is coming to 75,000 and we have paid him rupees 55,000 because cash is credited, which means we have cash is on the credit side of Rahul, which means we have received cash from him. So credit is 55,000. We are not supposed to check the balance. Credit total is 55,000. Debit total is 75,000. We'll just represent in trial balance Rahul 75 and 55. Same way we'll go to sales account where there is a total of 70,000 at credit side. Debit side there is no total, which means the total should be of debit side equal to 0, that is nil. So we'll show to sales, credit side 70,000, debit side as you can see they have not shown anything. You can either just put a dash or write 0 or leave it as it is. Then next we have is cash account. Cash account debit side it was having a balance of 1 lakh. Credit side if we ignore this balance carried down. So there was a balance of 40 plus 5 plus 12 that comes to 52. 52 plus 5 57,000. So debit side 1 lakh and credit side 57,000. Here we have shown it cash 1 lakh at debit side and 57,000 at credit side. Same way we'll go to wages account. 5,000 at debit column, credit 0. So we'll write here wages 5,000 and debit and credit is nil. Depreciation, debit is 3,000 and credit is nil. So this way we'll prepare. I guess there is no purchases given. There is no purchases given. So let's consider we do not have a ledger. I'll send it to you. Purchases 62,000 was having debit balance and credit nil. So this is the first method that we have is using total method, where we have written all the totals of debit and all the totals of credits, and later on you can check that your debit total is equals to your credit total. Okay, moving towards the second method, which is balance method, and that is widely used, that you also have to use for your trial balance. Here if we talk about Rawat's capital account, since Rawat's capital was credited, that means you can see if we just hide this balance carried down, we just hide this balance carried down because it is the balance that is adjusted at the end. So at credit it was 60,000 and at debit there was no balance, which simply means that capital is having credit balance, and since debit was 0, so we have adjusted the entire 60,000 as balance carried down. So students, always remember that whichever side is greater will have that balance. So if your credit side is greater than debit side, it means that you have credit balance. And if your debit side is greater than the credit side, it means that you have a debit balance. And we can just simply remember it if balance carried down is at debit side, so we'll adjust the balance on trial balance at the credit side. And if balance is on credit side, so we'll adjust the balance on debit side. So whichever side balance carried down is there, we'll just post it to opposite side. That means debit will be posted to credit and credit will be posted to debit. This is how we have to Remember this. So here if we talk about capital, balance is adjusted at debit. That means you have to go to your trial balance and write here down Rawat's capital at credit side 60,000. Same way, Rohan's account, balance carried down at debit side. That means you'll go to your trial balance, write down Rohan's capital 20,000 at the credit side. Same way you can see that machinery is having balance carried down on credit side. So you'll go to trial balance and write down machinery on debit side. Same, Rahul, balance carried down at credit side. So you will go to trial balance and write down Rahul on debit side. And at the end this total also should be same. And as we have discussed yesterday, the last method, generally you just have to take care of that. Here we have first of all presented our totals method, that is debit totals and credit total. And secondly we have presented balance method. So here we have is this is our total method and this is our balance method. Here we have taken care of balances and in this way we have taken care of totals. So as you can see that it's nothing else but the combination of first plus second method. First of all we have written the first method and secondly we have written the second method. If you can check here, we have first of all written the first method total and then we have done the second method, and this is how our third method follows, which is our total cum balance method. So I hope with this you people are clear with this topic. I'll be sending question to your WhatsApp numbers. Please solve. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you.